Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl and Belly Up Sports Network. Today, we're going to talk about, like you saw in the thumbnail, did Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes tip their hand as to what they were going to do? We're going to go into that. We're going to talk a lot about that. We got a lot of other stuff, but first of all, I need to bring in my main man, Curt, the man of steel himself, Steel.
Hey, what up, though? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And we're back right here at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right where you want us for your lunchtime Detroit Lions talk. And as always, join the family. Subscribe to the channel. We don't have fans. We don't got viewers. We got family. And it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Now let's get this thing started
right now.
Let's go. All right, welcome back to the show, people. Now it's time to get into the Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes pressers from yesterday. Did they tip their hand? Jim, what do you think?
They did. I mean, we talking about, they were asked a direct question about Trufant, your favorite guy of all time favorite Lion. Just kidding, man. And they were talking about Justin Coleman. And Dan Campbell said, oh, yeah, we've been talking to those guys. And it kind of got pressed on it. And when he got pressed on it, he said, okay, you know what? You guys will probably have some news about that later in the week. And that struck me as, okay, those guys are getting cut. Why would you say anything about why would there be an announcement if they're still on the team?
I would say this, and he got to press a little bit. Dan Campbell is who he is. He ain't going to really pull any punches. You know, he's not going to try to say much, you know, in the presser, but shit, we know those guys. I'm sorry, but you know those guys need to go. They have to go.
They gotta go.
I mean, the only way I would keep Holman if you restructure his deal, you know what I'm saying, to save us some money. But Trufant was a disgrace to the number 23 on the Lions. We went from Slay at 23. Think about the last couple of 23s we had. We had Chris Houston and then Darius Slay at 23.
Yeah, you're right.
And then you go to Trufant, who totally disgraced the 23 number. Michael Jordan is looking at them, eye rolling. I mean, come on,
MJ's saying, "What?
Oh, what's going on with my number?" I mean, but Campbell is who he is. I don't, you know, I like his honesty.
I do too.
Even though, you know, oh, did he tip his hand with those guys? I mean,
I think so. Why else would we have news coming out at the end of the week? He can't help himself. But, remember the last one when he said, you know, oh, we might be getting people right now. And he was. Remember that was his first press conference. He said that.
But I'll say this. You just look at that. I mean, it's them guys, you know, looking at Cap Cassidy's. I don't think that's going to be a secret for those two guys.
No, I don't think it's a secret. I don't think it needs to be. No, but I think it needs to be because of the fact of those guys have careers.
Yeah.
Those guys have families. And maybe they've already been informed, but if they haven't, then
you know what
needs to be done.
I think that they probably have been informed so they can kind of make plans and, you know, get with their agents and start looking for teams. And, you know, that way they can, you know, start testing the market to see where they're needed and, you know, maybe be wanted. You know, another thing with Dan Campbell, and one thing that he said that I did like, you know, he kind of made it where he was like, you know, Sheila Ford-Hamp's in the meeting, but she's not, you know, she's not meddling in our, you know, the personnel department. She's learning, you know what I'm saying? And he, that honesty, you know, that was a big issue for fans last week where, oh my God, she's sitting in the meetings and, you know, what's going on? It really was. And it's like, dude, why would you want a owner who's educated? She, like we said about her dad sitting up in the ivory tower and, you know, in Detroit, he wasn't involved with the team.
Right.
Like, it's like, you know, the dude hired his brother-in-law who had no football experience whatsoever to be the general manager. Man, I would rather have that than have what we had with her parents. I mean, Martha Ford was better than her husband,
But
but
she's 95 years old. I mean,
yeah,
how much is
yeah,
she really going to do?
yeah,
I hate to say that, but
yeah.
and Sheila's sitting in on meetings and doing all that. Dan Campbell went out of his way to say how extraordinary she was.
Hmm.
And actually he said, no, her advice is welcome because she owns the team. We
Yeah.
work for her, and we do want her input because she's
Hmm.
paying the paycheck, come on
Hmm.
now. She
Yeah.
wants to learn more about it. Yes, we want her to learn more
Yeah.
about it. We want her to be involved. And I thought that, and the other thing I've seen with Dan Campbell is his discussion about Brad Holmes. With
Hmm.
him and Brad Holmes may disagree and they be arguing, but a true alpha, this is what he said,
Hmm.
a true alpha knows when to back down.
Yeah.
He talked
Because
about going to his team. He talked about going to Brad Holmes. And the other
Mhm.
thing I found out of this whole thing was that him and Brad Holmes make the decision. They're the
Mhm.
ones that make the decisions.
Yeah.
You can see that, which is a little strange, but it should
Mhm.
be GM and head coach, and everybody else is kind of
Yeah.
putting in their opinion.
Yeah. Because and then with the team concept where he's like, I may be beating the drum, but at the end of the day, if I'm the only one standing on that hill, I'm not going to die on that hill. I'm going to defer to the group, and
Yeah,
that's what a true leader does. A true leader puts people around them that can help them be better and make decisions in a way that is best for the collective and not just for what the leader wants. Because a true leader wants someone to tell them if they're messing up. They don't want a whole bunch of yes men around them, and when you have a bunch of yes men around you, that's a recipe for disaster because you can go down a rabbit hole real quick,
real
doing something
quick.
wrong, doing something wrong because of the fact that you only value your own opinion and no one else's.
The other thing I thought, okay, so this was my funny part of the whole press
Hmm.
conference when Mike Rothstein was asking a question and he
Hmm.
froze. So he's like, okay, like Kurt, right now, I'm going to
Hmm.
grab my coffee. He just grabs his coffee, starts drinking at the, at the thing. And then he gets the questions about how much coffee do you drink? I mean, the interaction between the media and our head coach
Uh-huh.
is night and day from Patricia. And
Oh, Patricia,
oh my goodness, sit up
he,
straight, all this stuff,
man, I was
he
like,
got
and
better.
when he
But
did that when he first came, I was like, who do you think you are to tell someone in a press corps they need to sit up and like this isn't a classroom, it's a press conference, man. Get out of here with that
right.
noise.
But
Um,
I just love me some Dan Campbell. I
yeah,
just do. That is his name on the show.
yeah, Dan Camp. Now, what do you think about Brad Holmes saying that he was intrigued with the flavors of the quarterbacks in this upcoming draft?
First thing I thought is, what is this, Baskin Robbins? What do you got, 30 some flavors? No, I'm kidding. No, yeah, I mean, I love it that he put that out there about the quarterbacks. This is what Bob Quinn didn't do.
Hmm.
At least make them look like, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah.
The talk out of Detroit, maybe they might want a quarterback because
Hmm.
everybody's going to run with this and say that
Yeah,
Detroit
the
may
Lions.
be interested at a quarterback at
Quarterback.
7, like a Trey Lance or a
Yeah.
Trey Lance or a Trey Lance. Just kidding. But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
But
I
other
got
teams
you.
that look to trade now,
Uh-huh.
you know, it's a double-edged sword. So if like last year, Miami knew that we weren't getting a quarterback, so they had no need to trade with us.
No, they didn't. They stayed where they were and got the quarterback that they wanted, who they're trying to move on from now.
And yeah,
Tua. But here's my thing. Like we talked about the other day, and shout out to whoever, and it's out of my brain right now. That was mentioned in the comment cards yesterday about, saying kind of playing coy about, excuse me, the quarterback position. And
right.
um it just makes sense where you you get teams interested in what you're looking at or possibly looking at,
Yep.
and a team that needs a quarterback may now be calling Brad Holmes, or maybe have that in the back of their mind. So when the draft day comes here at the end of next month, and say, hey, okay, you guys are, you're at this position and we wanted this quarterback. Maybe we can, talk a deal with Detroit. And I understand what he said. I mean, there are plenty of different types of quarterbacks in the draft. You have a traditional drop back passer in like a Mac Jones.
Yeah.
If you want, someone who's more mobile, you go with a Trey Lance or maybe a Zach
He's gonna
Wilson.
say it again.
Yeah, and then if you want somebody who can do it all, which is going to go to Jacksonville, I just don't see nothing else happening like that. Is Trevor Lawrence? Yeah. He can do it all. He can sit in the pocket. He can pass. He can run. So I mean, he can. He's a kind of a do-all, jack of all trades back there in the quarterback position.
We looking at a quarterback we can develop too. So
yeah,
he may not have the skill set at this point, but I want him to have legs. I do.
Yeah.
I want him to be able to run. That's why Trey Lance intrigues me so much, because I believe that we can develop some of the other parts of his game and make him a really, really darn good quarterback in this league. I do. Yeah. Do you think, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think Brad Holmes tipped his hand, or he's a freaking genius?
I think he is a smart guy.
I do too. I think he's very intellectual.
I won't call him a genius just yet, but he's a very smart individual. So he has a high intellect, and I think that if he is true to his game with college scouting, and it relies on his pro department to do some stuff in free agency, I think next week is going to be interesting, and I think in the weeks to follow for the draft is going to be awesome.
I do too, but what I meant was, do you think he's setting other teams up to believe that we're looking for a quarterback, or do you think we're actually looking for a quarterback?
It may be a combination of both. It may be because if you look at the depth we have we looked at Chase Daniel is maybe a possible cap casualty. And that only leaves David Blau. So to back up Jared Goff. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, he may be playing coy, or he may be absolutely serious.
Yeah, that's what I can't tell, because he's got a pretty good poker face when it comes to this stuff. And I don't know. I mean, he seems really nervous when he's up there. You notice the back and forth and fidgets and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's fidgety either way. So it's not like he doesn't. I think, what is it? He fidgets when he's serious. He's fidgets when he's joking. So he's just fidgeting. I can't read him. So I can't
read him.
But that's a good thing, though.
I'm hoping that other teams kind of think, okay, well, they're going to go quarterback. Well, maybe and they decide, well, draft day. Okay, you know what? Maybe we won't take the quarterback. We're interested in this guy. What do you think about trading up? Or we could take the quarterback right here, and we're fine with it because we could sit him for a year. But if you got something that blows us away, we're listening.
Yeah, we're
that
listening.
Type of thing, because I think that's a better approach than Dan Quinn's dumb move.
Yeah,
no, we're not taking a quarterback.
I mean, Bob Quinn.
Leave everything on the table. Let him guess.
Here's my thing with Bob. I mean, Bob Quinn was not ready to be a general manager in the National Football League, and he never got the help that he needed. He just solely relied on doing it by himself, and I think that's where Sheila Ford Hemp is the difference with Brad Holmes, is that she's bringing him help where he doesn't have to, do it all by himself. We can do it by committee. We can, you can give him the final say, but at the end of the day, you give him more of a sounding board, and you give him some avenues to do things a little bit differently. And that's that new approach of leadership by committee.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think we're going to be trading with New England anytime soon again. So
no.
Well, unless that 15th pick, I don't think that's happening. A lot of people say that, but New England does not want. They don't move up usually. So we'll see how it goes. They're pretty lock solid with their draft position. Well, besides this year, I mean, this is the earliest they're drafted in a long, long time. I mean, they haven't been in the teens in probably a couple of decades, probably. So, right.
I mean, like consistently. All right. Hey, did you? I mean, this is a big hand. I mean, did these guys really tip their hands? Maybe.
I think Dan Campbell did. I really do. I think most of us knew anyway that those two guys probably would be, but I mean, obviously it's not going to be something in the news if they're going to stay on the team. So we know something's happening soon.
My thing with, just like I said, with Coleman, if we were to restructure his deal, you know what I'm saying, and maybe save us some cap space, I'm fine because Coleman played out of position so much in his time in Detroit, where he was never really truly a slot corner because he either had to play on the outside or he was hurt. So he played out of position. They didn't know how to really use him with Matt Patricia's system,
It
or
could
we
be
had a lot of
that's the
injuries.
news, that the restructure could be a news.
Yeah, it could be. So did Dan? And here's the other tip of the hat. Did Brad Holmes tip his hand about Kenny Galladay? I don't think he did. I don't think he did, though. He kind of played really coy with that one too, where he was like, "Well, we gotta do what's best for the player and what's best for the team, and we got some news coming out real soon about that."
But he said he would probably take up to the last day to make the decision.
Yeah, and that's
So we kind of know when it's coming now.
Yeah, we know when it's coming, just because of the fact that, and I'll put it like this. And I'm in agreement with some of the national media saying that at a tag, Kenny Galladay is actually below market value.
I agree.
But for what
I'm going to tell you what I think he tipped.
What he tipped?
I think he tipped that we are not re-signing Kenny Galladay, and I'm going to give you my reason why right now.
Okay.
He said, "I want to do what's best for the Lions, and I want to do what's best for Kenny Galladay." And so what does that mean in your mind? Do you think Kenny Galladay wants to be part of a rebuild?
So you don't eat it? I don't know, maybe.
But if you think that's the best thing for the player, because the best thing for him is to get into the open market and get more money and to get on a better team.
Maybe.
But the best for the Lions is not using all that money.
I think that.
Because he also talked about his turnaround in LA. Remember, he was talking about that he turned around the entire wide receiver room, and it wasn't.
Yeah, it was pretty fast. It was.
Yeah,
it was, because you got to look at
all that together.
Brandon Cooks and all those guys kind of left town, and then you kind of were left with like Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp were the only guys that really stayed long term. So it may be one of those things where he may be that one piece that stays a little bit past maybe 1 year. But my thing is the best thing for the Lions leaving the gun empty for Jared Goff?
I don't think it's going to be empty. I really don't. I think he's going to go get him somebody. I think he's going to get him somebody, a couple people in the draft, and maybe a trade. I think there's a lot of things on the table if you can use Kenny Galladay's money to go get other people.
Maybe I think
there's some really good wide receivers out there who you can get cheap on like a 1-year prove it deal or something.
Maybe it's a tag and trade where the other team takes on that tag contract for that 1 year.
I believe that is very possible. If we can get draft picks for him, I think that's best for the Lions. I think it's best for Kenny Galladay as well.
Yeah, but did you? The only thing I think Kenny Galladay, for some reason, don't quote me on this. Well, you can quote me on it, but don't get me wrong. I just think that Kenny Galladay for some reason, I think Kenny Galladay wants to be in Detroit. Something's about to him, right? That's just my thinking. Have you seen his back tattoo?
Yeah. That
freaking lion, it takes up his entire back.
So he's going to have to change that into whatever he goes to next. I'm just kidding.
Well, even the comments he made saying like he was ready to let's go when he was talking about Dan Campbell. I'm like,
biting the kneecaps. Yep.
I'm like, I don't know.
So in your opinion, he's going to be franchised or extended. And in my opinion, I think they're going to either tag and trade him or let him walk.
I
don't think Kenny Galladay will be on the roster next year.
Okay.
But you think he will. And, both.
I think he will.
Either or could happen. Either or could happen. We'll have plenty of money either way when we cut all these people that we don't need.
Yeah, because
I think we're
gonna have some cap space especially when we cut Trufant. Cut that
sure.
dude. Hey, Trufant. Hey man, I'm gonna holler at you later, bro.
See you down the road, buddy. See you down the road.
Hey, that was the main course for the day. Yes. All right, it is time to get into the Wall of Fame. Who do you got on the Wall of Fame, Jim?
The Wall of Fame consists of our gold members, Dr. Detroit, Gridiron Blitz, and Randy Prince. We have the silver level Gnomish J, and the Detroit Lions on the Prowl member, we'll call it our bronze level, is Midwest Lions, Detroit Drew, and Bubba Bo. Love that name.
Yeah,
Thank you, everybody, for being a member. And if you want to become a member, you just hit the Join Now button for more information. There's a video there about what you can get and all this other stuff. So just go ahead and hit the Join Now button so that you can look at what goes on behind the scenes, some blooper stuff you get, you know, at the higher levels, and the emojis that you see in the chat. And shout out to everybody in the chat right now. This is recorded, but we just want to say hi to everybody that's joining us at 11. But okay, so let's get into our news and rumors for the day. And what do we got first here? Did Detroit undervalue Devon Kennard? Devon Kennard was a linebacker, but he kind of was a sack master here. You know what I'm saying? He was really good at what he did. For me, I think they undervalued him. I do.
Yes.
I think that we should have kept him. We'd have had him and Aquara. Holy cow, we could have got some pressure on that quarterback, which we need. So yes, I think they did. What do you think, Curt?
Absolutely 100% think they undervalued Devon Kennard. That guy was a beast, high motor. Now it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to test the free agent market again because of the J.J. Watt signing. So it's going to be interesting to see where he's going to end up. But I think he was definitely undervalued by Matt Patricia. And we already know what Patricia and Quinn were always, that we just put the player in the system and the system will succeed, which was a joke. Yeah.
I'm sorry, because it's our team and I want our team to win. But dang, I'm kind of happy they failed at the end of it, because there was a lot of arrogance there for me.
Yeah, it was too much. All right, next up we have Staley rose as an assistant head coach is more than just a title. Now, Dan Campbell made it a point to say, hey, you're not a token assistant head coach. We're going to use you in press conferences, and we're going to be using you as having that role as a serious assistant head coach, where you're going to have take some of the duties off of Dan Campbell. That's pretty big. He says he's grooming him to be a head coach. So Staley's time in Detroit may not be long.
It may not be, but I think that's why we got him. Dan Campbell said, I picked up the phone when I knew he was leaving Philly, and I was like, hey, Duce, you know what? If you come here, and I think this was the conversation, like you said, is that we're going to groom you to be a head coach. We're going to make sure that we do everything to put you out in the spotlight so that you get that shine, so that, and all that, because you're going to be a head coach. We all know you're going to be a head coach. Help me out here for a few years, a year, maybe two, and we'll get you off to, being a head coach somewhere and stuff. I want to see coaches leave Detroit and succeed. That is something that hasn't happened. And I think that Dan Campbell has taken a huge approach with this, and a very good one, to where he trusts those guys, but he wants to help them too. He wants to help, but he's giving them the help as well.
Here's a little nugget, and you probably I talked about this one time before. No former Lions head coach has never been a head coach again in the NFL.
Wow, that's a damning statement, to be honest.
No former Lions head coach. Either they go and they're either out of coaching or they go back to being a coordinator.
It says a lot about Dan Campbell, because he's so secure with his own self that he brought in people that are former head coaches, that people are looking at to be head coaches, people he could develop into being head coaches, the top talent. I really believe that's what he brought in here. And so that's completely different than, Matt Patricia, who brought in the Crypt Keeper and Paul Pepperoni, and
you know what I'm gonna say. He did the homie hires.
He
did the homie hires, man. All his buddies, all his buddies, drinking buddies, whatever.
All his friends.
All his friends or people he thought he owed something to.
I can see him sitting in the bar I can see him sitting in the Cheers bar with all those dudes.
Yep. Come on, man. I'll put you on. I got a job for you, bro. I got you.
Right. I got you. And Dan Campbell said that immediately when he got the job. He said, you know what? I could go and do that, and people I owe a favor to and all that other stuff, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and get the best coach for the job. If I want an average coach, if I get average coaches, I get an average team.
Yep.
What a powerful statement that is.
And we had below average coaches, so we have below average team in some places. Some places we have really good coaches. Like, you know, the guy that I'll go back to this, and he's my guy. Hank Fraley was a really good keep, and so was Ben Johnson. I mean, those guys were really good under Patricia, and they deserve to keep their positions in Detroit.
Okay, we're going to go to our comment cards now, and we have number one is Mike Taft. If they restructure Goff's contract, can they get more cap space to sign free agents? Yes, they can.
Yep.
Because restructure means that they turn the some of the portion of the actual salary into a bonus. And so they kick that bonus down the road. So they would have to do it for just next year. If they're planning on only using them for 2 years, they're going to have to do that and kick that down to next year as well. So they spread it out over the 2 years. And I don't know how much money they could save by that. I think that's not going to happen. My personal opinion is we have plenty of players to cut to get up to about $28 to $30 million on our cap.
Right. We do. All right. Next is, you know who he is, Big Mike, friend of the show. OMG is Lions Talk. He says, if we're staying at 7, we need a playmaker, quarterback, or offensive tackle. Devontae Smith is the best playmaker in the draft. He is the only skill player he would take in the top 10. Well, I don't know about that one because Jamar Chase is a beast too, but I understand what you're saying. A playmaker, like I've been saying, this best player available is where I think the Lions need to go if we stay at 7.
The knock on Devontae Smith is he's light, you know, that he's not. But you know what? There's been light receivers before that have been amazing. I don't know. He's just got so much skill.
There's a guy out there in Atlanta that's still killing it, and he was slight build too, and that's Calvin Ridley.
Absolutely.
And he toasted us. He toasted us in Atlanta.
Yeah, but we had Duron Harmon who practices social distance tackling as well. So it's just different. Yeah. I don't know. Moonlust. That's a twofer. Trade up 3 spots, but no QB. Now I investigated this a little further with this person, and they're talking about Sewell. Is basically who they're talking about, is the big offensive tackle, the best offensive tackle of this draft. I don't trade up for the offensive tackle. I don't. We have a decent offensive tackle. I think your pick at number 7 raised a lot of eyebrows, but was a good pick, because if we can go ahead and get that right tackle, that's what we need. We need a good right tackle right now. And that guy can flip to guard or whatever, and Big V can flip out there or whatever. I don't care. But my thing is, I think we do need that right tackle, but I'm not trading assets for it. We need all the assets we can get. We really do. We need to be trading down, not up.
Right. All right. Next, we have Tim Evans down on the farm. I mean, Tim Evans, you know Bob Evans. You know how we do it. All right. Another great video, guys. The Raw F4 was pretty catchy. But Tim, we're going back to 11, man, where everyone wants us.
We're going back home.
Yep.
One funky Lions fan. If we are stuck at 7 and we go defense, I pray it's J.O. Kurt. What do you think about that?
Not sure. I don't see a lot of really defensive players that I would take in the top 10.
I don't either. I mean, I like he's out of Notre Dame. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I just don't know about him.
That's at 7, he's a reach. At 7, that's just a reach. I'm sick of the Lions reaching for players. We've done that too many times. I know why they call him JOK, because Jeremiah Owesu Koromoa, Koromoa, I believe is how you pronounce it, but it's just yeah.
So we're gonna go with JOK here.
Yeah,
on the Lions.
I think that the highest, and I don't know if we're in a market for one right now, is the 2 highest rated defensive players right now for the upcoming draft, and that will be in the top 10, I believe, are those 2 corners. Fairley and
Surtain
Jr. The second. So, and I don't think we're in the market at number. We just took a top 10 cornerback last year. I don't think we're going to do that again this year.
I don't know. Best player available.
Yeah, best player available.
I'm just going. If you can't trade down, there's a good wide receiver there. We really do need wide receiver help.
Yeah,
I'm not going saying need, but I'm saying if it's the best player there, you know, there's so many things we're going to do. We're going to get into that draft thing really a lot after we do free agency, but we have free agency coming up. Tim Evans with a twofer. What do you got there, Kurt?
All right. Timmy's back on the program. All right. He says,
down on the far.
Yeah, not on the far like Bob Evans. All right. Tim says Ingram gets injured too much.
Yeah, we're talking about the New Orleans Saints,
Melvin Ingram.
Melvin Ingram.
Melvin Ingram from the Chargers.
From the Chargers. I thought he was talking about the running back.
No, Melvin Ingram. I don't know about that, but I will say this:
he got injured last year.
I don't remember him being like so injured prone. I just think that was an anomaly for last season. But I will say this, and I really don't like the Lions bringing in we've done it too many times. Bringing in a person who's coming off of an injury to try to, we've done that too many times. It's just TJ Lang and Mike Daniels and just a whole list of players. Even Trey Flowers was coming off an injury when he came to Detroit.
Yep. So, newsflash, guys, there are players out there that are not injured. Just letting you know, making you aware of the situation. All right, that was our comment cards for today. And the question of the day is next. The question of the day today is, do you think Dan Campbell or Brad Holmes tipped their hand at the press conference? Do you think that happened? For Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, give me your reasons why, yes or no, in the comments below. And now it is my favorite time, the best time of the show, the Dessert with Curt.
Okay, now it's time for some tasty morsels. Now, shout out to Lions legend Herman Moore. Yeah, he aids in equal distribution for the COVID vaccine. So basically, he is making a coalition. He's getting with some individuals, and they're making sure that communities of need, and more particularly, communities of color are make sure they're getting the fair distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine by matching the government supply with communities that need it. So he wants to make sure they are streamlined and making sure that everyone gets a fair and equal shot at getting their COVID-19 vaccines.
Herman Moore is doing a great job. The Lions did a really good job by opening Ford Field. I think the Lions as an organization and former Lions do a wonderful job in the community. They really do. But I just want to bring this community a championship. That's my thing. And that says win one before I die, which is coming sooner than later. So
the one thing about Herman Moore, he said about Detroit, he said, he got drafted here, he played here, he stayed here because Detroit is home for him. So
isn't that crazy? There's a lot of people that do that though.
Yep.
They love it here. And Dominican Sue's another one. Oh, you know what? Before we end the show, I have to ask this question. And maybe we'll save this for another show, but Dominican Sue, do you think he fits in Detroit? If you think there could be a return there?
I don't know. You know what though? It's going to be hard to get him out of that Florida no tax zone.
Yes, it will. It will, but he's got businesses here. He's got people here.
Yeah, he does.
He says he loves it here.
Yeah, he does. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if even if after his playing days are over, that he returns to the Michigan area once he's done playing. I'm not be surprised.
He might even be in our organization at some point, believe it or not. I think we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching today. We really appreciate each and every one of you in the chat. I'm just going to say hello to a couple of people that are normally in the chat with Dr. Detroit, and we got Ellen Ambrose and all the people that support us, Bubba Bo, Midwest Lion, all of you guys giving you some shout outs, here. Steve-O, we are usually in the chat with us. Really appreciate you too. I just wanted to come out and say different people so that we appreciate you and that we really like that you come and watch our videos and comment and we talk back and forth. Kind of love the interaction.
Yes, definitely. All right, you know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And as always, join the family. Subscribe to the channel. We don't got fans. We don't got viewers. We got family. And it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And as always, you can check out the audio version of this show over on bellyupsports.com. And you can check out some more podcasts over there. They have a ton of different podcasts over there, different flavors. Like Brad Holmes said, you can check them out and some great articles by some talented writers over there on bellyupsports.com. And you can listen to the audio version on what? Skull Candy headphones. You can click the link in the description below, purchase some headphones, and a portion of the sales from that link go to help us grow this channel. And as always, hey, you know what day it is, baby. It's Wednesday hump day. Only 2 more days left. So you know what you got to do. Whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. From my man Jim, right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.